This episode of Dana Being Dana is brought to you by UFC Gym. Train different.
Hello, and welcome to Dana Being Dana. I'm Dana Michelle, and I am thrilled you're with us. My show is about all different aspects of the human connection, things that bring us together, and living life intentionally. I believe that health is the #1 thing people take for granted, and there is nothing like a pandemic to remind us all of how important it is to prioritize our health. Personally, I have jump-started my own fitness journey in 2020, and I am thrilled to be in better shape than I was when this pandemic started. I owe that to my guests joining me now, the owners of UFC Gym, Ricard Lamas in Naperville, the owners Matt Kuschert and Ricard Lamas. And also joining us is their client, Colleen Laska. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you all so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So tell us, why did you start UFC Gym in Naperville?
Well, it's kind of a long time in the making. Me and Matt have known each other since college. We both wrestled at Elmhurst College together. So kind of ever since after that career, we always kind of talked about maybe opening a gym together. It started off as a wrestling gym because back then we were just both purely wrestlers. Then my MMA journey kind of began, and it evolved and developed into what it is now. Me being a fighter, I can't fight till I'm 65, although I'd love to if I could, but Father Time just won't allow that to happen. So the next step is kind of using the brand recognition that I've created in the sport of MMA and transfer that into a business that could help sustain, you know, my family and Matt's family too, moving on from here on out.
And the vision was always to create a family-friendly environment, right? That UFC name can be a bit of a double-edged sword at times. You know, as Ricardo mentioned, it's certainly a draw. People know the name, it's a worldwide brand, but at times people can be a little bit intimidated by that. So we've worked really hard to establish the culture of exactly that, a family-friendly gym with little kids all the way up to grandmas and grandpas and everyone in between. And so whether it be the youth programming or suburban moms and dads or all ages, all ability levels, we welcome them there. And we had always yearned to start something like that because we've all been in and out of gyms our whole lives, and it's nice to be in a welcoming environment wherever you are on your fitness journey, you can get going with us.
That's one of the things I think that makes UFC Gym in Naperville unique compared to other gyms. What other aspects of the gym do you feel make you different from all the other gyms that are out there?
A lot of the UFC gyms, some of them do have UFC fighters attached to the gym, but for the most part, a lot of them are just kind of a name on the brick facade, and you'll see them in the gym maybe once a month or do a seminar here and there, an appearance.
You're there all the time.
I'm there every day.
Yep.
Exactly.
I
So I think that's a huge difference, is that I'm very heavily involved in the gym, in teaching, in my private lessons, in my classes. So you'll see me there every day. I'm not just a name on that brick facade. I'm there, and I'm trying to put in as much work as Matt does every day on a daily basis.
Can you talk a little bit about your career? When you started and some of the accolades and things that you've done? And you coach him, right? You train him?
I help. A very small amount.
Yeah, Matt helped me out a lot in this last camp leading up to my final fight with my conditioning. So that's pretty much one of the most important things as an athlete going into a fight. You have to be well conditioned and ready to go the entire 3 rounds or 5 rounds, whatever the fight may be. But to answer your question, I started fighting, my first fight was in 2007. So me and Matt graduated from Elmhurst College in 2005. I spent a year kind of on the sidelines coaching, but still really had that drive to compete inside me. So at that time, I was working at a health club as a personal trainer. Another trainer there had kind of a boxing and Muay Thai background, and I'd always be talking to him about how I wanted to do MMA. And at that point, he was starting his own gym and said, you know, I can come by and kind of learn the basics from him. And I did. And, you know, when I first started, I didn't know exactly where I was going to take it. I was like, maybe I'll have one fight, get out of my system, and I'm done. You know, and then one amateur fight turned into 2, turned into 3, turned into wanting to go pro. And then once I went pro, I wanted to go for a belt. And then once I won a belt, I wanted to make it to one of the big shows. So my big break came in 2009. With a now defunct organization called the WEC, World Extreme Cage Fighting, which was owned by the same owners as the UFC. So it was all the same people, but it featured lighter weight classes, which weren't a part of the UFC in that time period. I got in through a kind of a short notice fight. Somebody's opponent got injured 4 days out from the fight, and they were scrambling to find someone. They called me up. I accepted the fight and ended up winning, and that's how I kind of got my foot in the door. And then in 2011, they merged us into the UFC and brought the lighter weight classes in.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's incredible. You're like a local celebrity. Yes. Better know who you're messing with.
D-lister.
No. Matter of fact, you won the fight of the night at UFC Vegas this past August. Tell us about that experience, particularly during a pandemic.
It was quite the experience. I mean, having the luxury of being able to be in Ricardo's corner was an absolute honor. And to your point, it was a very unique experience because it wasn't in an arena filled with 25,000 fans. We were literally quarantined at a Holiday Inn, I believe, or a Marriott it was. And each and every day we would be having a COVID test and then go back to the room and quarantined. And so it made not only the training up to the fight challenging for Ricardo, but also the week leading up to the fight as well. But again, it was an honor, one that I'll never forget. And as you mentioned, Rick came out victorious in an absolute
fight of the night.
Yeah,
you're the winner.
Yeah, it was very strange, and I like flip-flop back and forth between. I kind of liked how it was because we kind of eliminated all the outside activities that we had to do during fight week, so it allowed me to just kind of stay in the room and focus on the fight itself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, sometimes those activities will take your mind off the fight if they set up something fun for us to do, you know. So it was a little bit of a give and take, and it was strange fighting in an empty arena. I didn't know the fight was so good because I didn't have a crowd reacting to it. Everybody was silent, right? So I was kind of surprised when I came out and everybody's saying, you know, that was fight of the night so far.
That's awesome. That's incredible. And now you've retired?
Yeah. About I alluded to it right after my fight in the post-fight interview, and then about a week later, I kind of officially announced it. So I'm not getting any younger, and this is a young man's sport. So I'd rather leave with all my faculties intact and not drooling on myself or anything.
That's awesome. What are you most proud of with UFC, the gym that you have in Naperville, and what you've created?
I think the thing that makes us most proud is, I mean, naturally, drawing aspiring athletes and whatnot is important, and they're going to gravitate towards a guy like Ricardo because he knows it all, right? But what really moves us is when we see little kids, moms and dads, families in there, and they're getting the results that they so desperately want. And they're working hard towards their goals, and you see literally all different walks of life. Our membership base couldn't be more eclectic. And it's neat to see that because you know, getting in shape can be a challenging thing. It can be an intimidating thing. Walking in and out of a gym can certainly feel that way. So I think if I'm speaking, I think it's the fact that we have such a welcoming environment where people can be comfortable wherever they are in their fitness journey.
It's true. It's like Cheers. When you walk in, people know your name. They say hello to you.
Matt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Matt knows everybody's name.
Absolutely. Speaking of names.
I'm still trying to remember all the names. Yeah, in people's classes that I teach.
I'm Dana.
Yeah, I knew that. You're just Dana being Dana.
Colleen, you are a member of UFC Gym.
I am.
Ricardo Lamas in Naperville. Why did you join?
Well, I actually came to the gym through word of mouth about their youth program. My son, he's 10, and we were looking for something that would help build his confidence and self-esteem and somewhere he could feel like he belonged. And so I had started taking my son Samuel to classes. And for a good year, I would watch him, and I'd also watch all the adults in the classes and think to myself, wow, I really want to be able to do something like that. I want to get back into working out. And so I really came through my son. I was so inspired by him and how much growth he'd made, and also the community at UFC. It's not just a gym, it's a community.
It is.
And I felt like I could be part of something, kind of how I was, and not be embarrassed, or I could be vulnerable. And I found Matt, and Matt has really helped me from day one.
Tell us more about your story and some of the health challenges that you've had, and how being at UFC, being a member, being part of this community, and what that's done for you and your health.
Sure. After the birth of my third child, I had a bad spinal epidural, and so they punctured my dura, which covers your spine and holds your brain fluid, and so I was bedridden for 3.5 years and had gone through a lot of procedures and experiments, and I had a lot of atrophy, and I was in the recovery stage. I was lucky enough that I was able to get better, but I was not near to the person I was before my illness. And so when I was going and watching my son, you know, I really thought about that person I used to be. I'm 38 years old, and would I ever be able to lift weights? Could I bend? Could I sit up and down without worrying about the injury to my spine? And so I had a lot of fear there, but I also had a lot of will that I really wanted to fight to get back to being a healthy mom for my kids. That was so incredibly important to me. And I've made so much progress, and there's times I'm with Matt and I'm swallowing down tears because I'm doing things that were only a dream for me. To be able to have your health and to be able to have the opportunity to work out and get strong and have more years, Matt says, to my life. My illness took away some really important years, and I feel like I'm getting those back because I'm getting stronger and healthier.
How old is your youngest now?
He's almost 6.
He's almost 6 years old. So this has been a journey for you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? This is one of your clients telling you kind of that your dream has been life-changing, you know, for her. And there's many stories like that. I haven't been with you all that long, but you know, my health is better. I'm sleeping better. I've lost, you know, dress sizes and all that. I mean, that's got to be amazing and an incredible feeling for what you do.
Yeah, it truly is an inspiration. I mean, Colleen is the epitome of determination and motivation and utilizing her children as her reason why. You know, we talk about what people's why is. Why are they walking in that door? Why are they motivated to push themselves? Why are they looking for results? And she uses her children as that why. And it is an incredible inspiration to all of us because, frankly, Colleen could use that as an excuse. And every one of us would be like, sure. Totally understandable. You know, unspeakable circumstances, surgeries, bedridden. But she uses it as motivation to do more. And each and every day, those tears that she talks about welling up in her eyes, she'll see them in my eyes too as she's working hard. And it just inspires me to be better and better. And, you know, the world needs more Colleens.
The world needs more Colleens. They need more Matts. They need more Ricardos. What do you want to say to people out there who have excuses or find reasons, right? It's easier to stay home than it is to get up, to get out, particularly when it gets cold out. It's wintertime, you know, it's cold. What would you say to those people to encourage them to work out, to take their health seriously?
To ditch the excuses. You know, there can be you can find an excuse for anything you want to do in life. And if you're constantly going to use those excuses, you're never going to get anything done. So I think just really stepping outside of your comfort zone is the best thing for you. That's where all the growth happens. You know, nobody grows sitting on the couch. So, well, they grow, but in the wrong way, right? So.
In the wrong way. How important is your mindset? Because I think that's true, both as a fighter, as a trainer, as a coach, as someone who is working out. How important is your mindset, bringing that into your workout and your regimen?
Mindset is everything. Being a fighter, you know, you have to be in tip-top shape, but if you don't have it up here, you're not going to have it anywhere.
Right.
So having a strong mind is, in my opinion, more important than having a strong body, because the mind guides the body, right? You really have to learn to, your body, you know, your mind will tend to give up before your body is fully depleted, right? So you have to train the mind to push past that point so that you can really excel.
Matt, I wanted to ask you, you said, and you say this often as you train with me, you cannot teach effort. What does that mean?
You know, we could teach all the moves under the sun. We can teach different derivations and ways to activate muscle groups and to challenge yourself. But we can't teach someone how to try, right? We can't teach someone to show up and to put in that work. So when they're willing to give that effort, literally just need to show up and we will take care of the rest.
Yes, indeed. And showing up we will. Start your warm-up now. We are getting ready to have a great workout for you when we return. You are watching Dana Being Dana with UFC Jim Naperville, Ricardo Lamas. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
What's
up, guys? Ricardo and Matt here. Welcome to UFC Jim Naperville.
If you're looking for high-intensity interval training, this is the spot for you. If you're looking for high-caloric burn, or if you're looking to learn the basics of how to box and kickbox, our members take advantage of dozens and dozens of classes. Don't let this big cage intimidate you. We utilize this for our youth programming. We have one-on-one training.
But if you guys do want to feel what I feel and go through what I go through every fight, climb up on in here with your personal trainer and go through a one-on-one session and feel like a real Ultimate Fighter.
We boast a number of different pieces of equipment here. We're incredibly proud of all of the classes and awesome coaches that we offer here, but it's really important to have high-quality cardio equipment to supplement your workouts that you're getting here. We've all heard cleanliness is next to godliness. We take cleanliness of our facility very seriously.
Talk shows are like the family and friends you turn to in good times and bad. That familiar face of your favorite host welcoming you to a new episode somehow just makes the day brighter.
Welcome to the Moms Network.
NCTV 17 produces a wide variety of TV talk shows, all encouraging you to join the conversation and feel connected to your community. If you value that connection, please make a donation.
This episode of Dana Being Dana is brought to you by UFC Gym. Train different.
Welcome back to Dana Being Dana, where we are talking about fitness. And we are joined once again with UFC Gym, Ricardo Lamas in Naperville. And before we get our workout on, I want to talk about how important what you put into your body is to your fitness regimen. Yvonne, how does nutrition play into the wellness equation?
Well, nutrition is really the foundation for your experience. It sets the tone. It's what provides your energy, your stamina, the ability to recover your body and get back in there, because consistency is the key.
Yeah. Well, you have been an incredible nutrition and wellness coach for me in that regard, so I appreciate you being here. Are you ready to get our workout on?
I am so ready. Let's do this.
I'm excited. So let's go. We're starting off with Coach Brittany. How are you?
Hi, great. How are you?
Awesome. So tell us what DUT stands for.
DUT stands for Daily Ultimate Training. It's a boot camp style class, also like a high intensity interval training. And we're actually going to show you a taste of our class right now.
Let's do it.
All right. We're going to start here with Matt, Coach Matt. He's going to be doing a burpee box jump. So he's going to burpee down, his chest is going to hit the ground, he's going to jump up, and then jump on the box.
Yes.
Well done, Matt.
Good job. So strength training is a part of DUT.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
What's next?
All right, we have Coach George coming forward. He's going to be doing a full squat into a press. So this is called a thruster. Nice job, George. Well done.
What's next?
We have the kettlebell swing with Coach Rick. He's going to show us how it's done. So he's going to hike it into himself, and he's going to drive through his legs and bring the kettlebell up. So he's using mostly legs here. Nice job, Rick.
Everybody loves a tire.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
All right, Coach Keone is going to be doing our tire flip today. He's going to squat down, and he's going to set his back and drive through his legs and stand up and flip the tire.
All right.
Nice.
Are we ready to battle?
Yes, we are.
Let's do it.
All right. We have battle ropes next with Yvonne. She's going to show us how it's done. So she's going to do alternating waves with the rope. Maybe widen your feet just a little bit. There you go. Good solid stance. Nice job, Yvonne.
Making waves.
So beautiful, Yvonne.
So everybody wants to get that core together.
Yes, we have Russian twists next, and Ronnie's going to show us how that's done. Here you go, Coach. All right. So he's going to lean back, and he's going to sit in that V position. So he's going to bring his knees up, and he's going to take the sandbag and go side to side, holding his core nice and tight.
Yes.
Keep breathing.
So Ricardo, boxing. At UFC Gym, anybody can be a boxer. Anybody can practice boxing.
Yeah, that's a great thing about our gym. We're very beginner friendly. We have everybody from grandparents to little kids working out at our gym and everybody in between. So it's a very welcoming place. And like I said, 99% of our members are never going to step foot in an octagon or a ring in their life. They go there to use our modalities to get into shape and help achieve their fitness goals.
And that's so cool because we've got Sam here, who's Colleen's son from our earlier segment. And I love what you do with kids because so many kids are not getting to the gym. They're not having PE. They're not getting out like they would normally do because of the times that 2020 has been. So it's been awesome to have the gym at UFC to go to for the youth boxing and all the youth activities. So should we watch the demo?
Yeah, let's watch it. Right now, Ronnie's just going to be working some mitts with Sam, going over some of the stuff that they've learned over their sessions.
So tell us about some of the things that the students, while they're demoing, what they learn.
We offer anything from boxing one-on-ones, kickboxing one-on-ones, weight training one-on-ones, jiu-jitsu one-on-ones. Pretty much everything under the sun that encompasses MMA, you can work one-on-one with a coach for.
That's awesome. I think it's so good for the kids because I think it builds self-confidence, athleticism.
And it teaches them a little bit of self-defense, too, to deal with some of those bullies out there if they ever encounter one.
There you go. How old were you when you started boxing?
When I started boxing, I was older, but I got into martial arts at about 9, 10 years old with Taekwondo first, then moved into wrestling, and then, after wrestling in college, I moved into all the other aspects.
So anybody can do this?
Anybody.
Anybody. Thank you. One of my personal favorites at UFC Gym Naperville is the boxing, the kickboxing, the boxing conditioning. And of course, you're the boxer. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, it's like you said, it's one of our more popular classes, kind of all welcome to all ability levels. And you work at your own pace, right? The coach is there leading you through the workout. You work as hard as you can, and they're putting together combinations and stuff that you'll see kind of in a kickboxing or an MMA fight. You see she's adding in a sprawl into this combination.
Coach Brittany.
Yeah, she's doing it. And we keep the heart going. We keep burning calories the whole time. You can burn up to almost 800 calories in a 50-minute class. And it's just a fun way, to get that cardio in without feeling like a hamster on a wheel.
It's intense, and it's great. You feel so strong, which I love, which has been a lot of fun. So it's some of my favorite stuff. I'm working on my kicks. Coach Brittany's got it. It's like $1 Million Baby over here. There is nothing like a pandemic that will have you evaluating your health choices, both in what you consume and in how you move. You owe it to yourself not to take your health for granted. Special thanks to UFC Gym Ricardo Lamas Naperville, owners Matt and Ricardo, and all of my guests who have joined me for this very special and important episode. Hopefully you have been entertained, if not encouraged or inspired. I do not promise to be an expert, nor do I have all the answers. I'm just Dana being Dana. See you next time.
This episode of Dana Being Dana is brought to you by UFC Gym. Train different.